So I am here at the MCO International Airport, that is the Orlando International Airport, because today I am heading all the way to Japan. I'm super excited. This is my first time visiting Japan, so I cannot wait to get there, but we do have to get there. So today I'll be flying Air Canada throughout the entire day, from MCO to Toronto, and then from Toronto straight on over to Tokyo. So let's board this first flight and head on over to Canada. So I have officially arrived here in Tokyo, Japan, and boy, I am exhausted. That was a very, very long flight. Nonetheless, I've arrived safely, so no complaints. So after deplaning, I went to the train station office where I exchanged my voucher for my Japan Rail Pass, and that was an easy process. It only took about 10 minutes. Then from the airport, I took a tram to the subway station, and then from that subway station, I took another subway to another subway station, and then from there, it was only about a 10-minute walk to my hotel. And checking in here was a breeze. They were so kind. They bowed to you until the elevator door closed. It was crazy. So for tonight, I won't be hunting any street food or going out to any restaurants because, again, I'm exhausted and I have a full day exploring Tokyo tomorrow. But I am going to treat myself to something special, something that a lot of people see when they first come to Japan. And I'm talking, of course, about 7-Eleven. So let me grab my coat and let's head on over to 7-Eleven. Alright, first item up for grab, of course, is the one and only famous egg salad sandwich. Look how much egg salad they cram between those two pieces of delicious soft white bread. Alright, so the second item that I want to try is unagiri. Now unagiri is basically like a rice pod, and in the center they have some sort of meat or paste. They have like red salmon and what's the other one they got? They got tuna and mayonnaise. I think I'm gonna grab let's see. I think I'm gonna grab tuna and mayonnaise because I love tuna. Of course, one can't forget chocolate milk. This is fancy chocolate milk. Alright, so we are back from 7-Eleven. First item I would love to try, of course, is the egg salad sandwich. I see a lot of other vloggers buy this when they first come to Japan because people make a really big deal about the egg salad sandwiches at 7-Eleven. They are second to none, so I'm excited to try it. So let's open this baby up and give it a try. Alright, this is my first Japanese 7-Eleven egg salad sandwich. Let's give it a go. You know, you can't really screw up an egg salad sandwich, but Japan has found a way to make it 100 times better. Item number 2, unagiri. So this is, like I said earlier, a little rice pod, and they typically have something in the middle, whether it's a paste or meat. Again, I got the tuna and mayonnaise, so let's open this up and give it a try. Alright, here we go. I didn't do a really good job wrapping the seaweed on this one. The seaweed comes separate from the actual rice pod, but let's give it a go. Not bad. Not bad at all. That rice is soft. The rice and the tuna is really good. Item number 3. Chocolate milk. Comes with a little straw. Alright, here we go. This ain't bad. It tastes more like, it says it's chocolate milk, but it tastes more like chocolate water. Would I buy it again? Probably not. But for a one-time taste, not too shabby. So today is November 5th, 2025, and it's my first full official day here in Tokyo, Japan. But before we can go out and explore, I need some coffee. So let's go grab some coffee. All right, guys, so as you can see, we made it to Sensoji Temple, and this place is packed, and it's only 9:30 in the morning. So let's start exploring and see what this place has to offer. All right, guys, here we go. We're about to cross the famous Shibuya crossing. So unfortunately, Chris and I couldn't see Shibuya Sky Observatory today because they were sold out of tickets. But we did buy tickets for tomorrow, and tomorrow there's a better chance of seeing Mount Fuji because they have clear skies. So right now we're heading to the Tokyo Tower. So let's go check it out. Alright guys, so we just left the Tokyo Tower and now we're in Shinjuku because we have a food tour in about a half an hour. Alright guys, so we just met up with our food tour group and now we're heading to the first restaurant. So let's get this night started. So right now we're walking through Tokyo's oldest alley. It's been the same since World War II and nothing here has changed. Alright, so we're here at our second restaurant, but this is the first time I ever had to take my shoes off at a restaurant, which is a typical Japanese tradition. Alright guys, so we're at our second to last restaurant, and what we're trying here is something I've always wanted to try. We are going to have deep fried pork loin. Alright guys, so we are on our last stop for the evening, dessert. And we're gonna try taiyaki at the establishment behind me. So if you're not familiar with that dessert, it's that famous fish pastry with something typically inside the center. So it's typically like a red bean paste or a custard. I'm gonna get chocolate, Chris is gonna get the traditional red bean paste and give it a shot. So let's go get some. So it is our second day here in Tokyo, Japan, and we backtracked back to Shibuya because yesterday we couldn't get into the Shibuya Sky Observatory, but we got tickets for today, and as you can see, it's a clear sky, the sun is out, so let's go and explore.
Not a bad life.
So it's rush hour now in Tokyo. We just tried to get on a train and we were literally right in front of the door. And the trains are so packed, you can't even inch your way in. So we're just gonna wait for the next one. But it's crazy here during rush hour, especially on a Friday.